soldiers of the free world. Listen, there is no more time. There is no turning back. What comes next decides everything. Before us, the authoritarian machine advances. Cold, blind, absolute. They want a silent world. They want a kneeling people. They want thought in chains. We will not have it. Not today. Not while we still breathe. The free world is counting on us. It didn't ask. It didn't beg. It just counts on us, because it knows we are the last line. You don't fight for land. You fight for a voice, for choice, for a future. Remember this: authoritarianism doesn't negotiate. It takes it. And when it takes, it never gives back. That is why we are here. That is why no one retreats. That is why we will advance together. Steady your step. Steel in your gaze. Conviction in your chest. If we fail, the planet goes dark. If we win, it breathes, and we will win. Now, rise, war stance. The free world is watching. March, soldiers, full attention. The enemy does not hesitate, does not think, does not feel. It only advances. They come to erase everything. Memory, voice, freedom. They want a uniform, tame, silent planet. A planet with no choice, a planet with no soul, and we are the obstacle. The last one. The one that doesn't break. The one that doesn't yield. Understand this clearly. This isn't a speech, it's a warning. If we fall, the world falls with us. No debate, no return, no second chances. Today, we don't march for flags. We march because someone has to stop the Colossus from crushing what's left of humanity in this century. They push. We hold. They suffocate. We tear through the air and keep going. Is the fight unequal? Yes. But inequality has never scared those who carry conviction in their bones, not just in their chests. So burn this into your minds. Authoritarianism only dominates when it finds silence. And we are not silenced. We are the roar that shatters their march. Harden yourselves, cold, firm, no trembling. Today we don't fight to live. Today we fight so the world continues to have something worth living for. Align, breathe, and prepare. Because when we advance, we will advance to make it clear to the entire planet that freedom does not fall without first roaring. Soldiers, listen up. The situation is simple. They advance. We block. Authoritarianism operates without emotion, without pause, without margin. Its objective is total. If they cross this line, the free world ceases to exist. Period. There is no heroism here. There is no glory. Only necessity. You know what's at stake. Freedom is not guaranteed. It is maintained or lost. The enemy does not negotiate, does not retreat, does not correct. It imposes. Our function is to prevent. No spectacle, no speech, no illusions. Coldness in thought, precision in step, silence in formation. Any failure will cost everything. Any hesitation creates space, and space is exactly what they want. Hold the line. Tighten your focus. Nothing beyond the mission matters. The time is now. No noise, no emotion, just execution. Advance. The free world thanks Uncle Sam, and it's not a fragile gratitude. It's the recognition that if it weren't for the raw force, the military machine, the strategic stubbornness, and the refusal to kneel, half the planet would have been swallowed by a regime that understands only one language, total dominion. While the red bloc advanced like an ideological steamroller, crushing press, religion, opposition, and dignity. The United States did what many free countries did and have the courage to do: stand up to the authoritarian colossus, confront dictatorships disguised as utopias, and prevent the world from becoming one giant state-run farm. Uncle Sam didn't ask for permission. He didn't make delicate speeches. He didn't wait for consensus. He contained authoritarianism by force. Was it ugly, harsh, contradictory? Yes, but the other side didn't offer a better alternative. It only offered absolute surveillance, forced silence, and the empty promise of equality under the boots of the party. The free world gives thanks not out of romanticism, but for survival. It gives thanks because it knows that without this muscular counterweight, the planet would have been forcibly recolored, flag by flag, country by country, until only one official truth and a single master to obey remained. The free world thanks Uncle Sam not as a perfect savior, but as the geopolitical gear that, whether we like it or not, held the door while the authoritarian advance tried to swallow entire continents. When the Iron Curtain fell, it wasn't just steel that was imposed. It was the attempt of a single, centralized ideology, intolerant of dissent. And on the other side, with its flaws, contradictions, and imperfections, rose the promise of plurality, of a free press, of competitive elections values that, although often betrayed in practice, still served as a vital counterpoint. The free world thinks not a hero, but a historical counterweight. It thanks the idea that no ideological empire should rule alone. It thanks the fact that, on the global chessboard, someone confronted expansionism with their own limits, but also with their own convictions of freedom. Because, in the end, the great disputes of the 20th century were not between nations, but between models of the world. And it was in this clash of ideological tectonic plates that the planet avoided sinking under a single clenched fist. Soldiers of the free world, lift your heads and hear the call of history. Today we speak not of borders, but of principles. Today we fight not for territories, but for the permanence of freedom on a planet that was almost devoured by the disciplined, silent, and relentless advance of an ideological empire thirsty for control. While the totalitarian shadow spread like a black tide over fragile nations, the free world had two paths: surrender or resist. And it was then that Uncle Sam, with all his flaws, contradictions, and imperfections, rose as the bastion that refuses to fall. Not for glory, not for greatness, but because someone had to hold the line when the rest of humanity hesitated. We know what was at stake. On the other side, there was no debate, no vote, no choice. If we falter now, we deliver the future into hands that only know how to squeeze, to suffocate, to watch, to command. Raise your chests. Steady your step. Let every breath you take carry the weight of those who, in the past, refused to live under tyranny. For when we advance, we will not advance alone. We will advance with every page written by freedom, with every voice that refused to be silenced, with every life that defied the dogma of a single permitted thought. This is the final moment before the storm, and it is here, on this symbolic ground, that we make the oath that will echo for generations. As long as the free world exists, no authoritarian empire will reign absolute. Now, soldiers, rise, because history is about to call our names. Thanks for watching. If this message resonates with you, consider subscribing.